Good morning. I've had my first night in my new bed and croissants in bed for breakfast. So, completely spoilt myself. It is a lovely night's sleep, dead comfortable. Batty is loving his new bed. He's loving taking over the entire bed. So I had to keep moving around him. You know, we've gone from Vee Vee to this. And Batty's still managing to take up a considerable portion of the bed. So, been out, checked on the birds, all's well here, and I'm going to have a think about what to do today. So, part of making the house home, I want to have my toilet in here. So, I'm making a compost toilet. I thought I'd explain how I'm doing it. So, you don't make compost in a compost toilet for a start, and we don't separate the urine from the other organic matter because this isn't what we do, you know. It's supposed to be a liquid substance so microbes can swim through it. So what we need to do is collect everything together in a bucket, add in substrate as we go, which can be any form of carbons such as toilet roll tubes, toilet roll, wood chips, very thin wood chips though, sawdust. Sawdust isn't ideal. It works, but you need an awful lot of it. You know, brown leaves, you know, dead leaves, dead grass, that kind of thing, and that's what you add into your toilet as you go. So you need a good handful or so each time you knit the glue. So here's kind of what I made earlier. I want to explain how I did it. So here is simply a big square of quite thick OSB because it's got to be thick enough to take your weight, with a toilet seat put in. So you attach it, you cut your hole out underneath with the jigsaw, and then you've got a nice comfortable toilet seat. Patty, you can't see him, but he's like, what's that? What's that hole? So the thing is, you don't want to sit with your butt here on the OSB because you can end up with splinters. But really, most wood will do, and if you give it a good varnish, you're not likely to get splinters in your bottom because, let's face it, they're not the easiest of things to remove by yourself. And then we made the walls, and the walls here, I'll move to one side and out that. The walls are just basically wood from the scrap bin at the local brico-marché, and it was just one length, and I thought, ooh, hold on. So when I worked it out, if you cut that into half and then half again, you could use each quarter for the ideal base. So this is your base. It's got a hollow, smashing. Sorry Batty, it doesn't like noise. So it's got a nice hollow base at the bottom, and then you just pop your bucket inside. So I'm just gonna pop this together, just gonna screw this together, and then I'll show you what happens next. Now Batty, you're going to have to come out of the way so I can get on and do this. You can't sit on my knee all the time. Just some of it. I've already attached these, like I say, I've made it earlier, but I've had it in storage. So here I've just used 2 hinges, like stable door hinges, but the little ones. You do like having a fuss, don't you, Batty? We need to tell them what we're doing. Yeah. And we just pop them on here so that when we put the lid on, see which way it is. It's here. So we attach it like this. I need to get some other screws, some shorter screws for this. And once it's on here, this will just lift up and lift back down, ready for emptying your bucket, your inside. So I'll go and find some. Come on, Batty. So from me and Batty, little bugger, we'll go and find some little screws, won't we? So yes, we'll go and find some little screws, and then we'll show you how the rest works. So shortly. Come on then. Huh? Right, I found the little screws. The idea with the screws is don't get ones that are too big. So just a tiny little screw so that it doesn't come up the other end, otherwise you're going to catch your clothes and stuff on it. So we've got 3 here on each hinge. So here we go. Like this. And then just bear with me. So if you find yourself a bucket, you can have buckets with lids on if you're in a van because you don't want things spilling, but the lid isn't that important. This will easily do me for a good week, and then I empty it direct into the pile. I only open the pile once a week, or I have done in the past. And over at a Himsa, we only emptied our toilet once a week, and there was 2 of us using it. So you shouldn't have a problem, you know, just 1 or 2 people, something like this, not a bother. The same with like a smallish camping toilet. Don't put chemicals in it, just use it, seal it each week, open it up, pour it in, it's fine. So you basically open like this, pop it in, so there's room for the handles, so I'll put it in corner to corner like this, and that's it. You just make sure your bucket's positioned inside so that when you pee it doesn't miss the bucket and go on the floor. So from me, and Batty's gone on a wander with Mr. Beagle. That's our compost loo done. Here's just a quickie. This is the compost toilet for the home against the van compost toilet. So basically the van compost toilet is a bucket with a children's toilet seat on for comfort. Helps take the weight when you get on it, so they usually fit direct on, and then when you take this off carefully, you just pop your lid on for travel. So that is an ideal van compost toilet. Don't forget, when it comes to urine, you can pour your urine under most trees, particularly lemon trees and citrus trees love urine. Never direct onto the roots, never onto the bark, but in the space below the crown of the tree. That's perfect for disposing of urine. When it's poo, you need to be responsible in how you decide to get rid of that. Do not bury it, and do not just leave it sat there. It's not good. So you want to be popping it into a toilet, or popping it into a doggy bin. You know, pop it into a little poo bag and pop it into a doggy bin, or dispose of it into a general toilet system. And I'm going to go on to making a compost pile next. So I'm really quite excited. This is something I've wanted to do since before I got here. So time to make the compost pile.